Uh-oh. We got bad news for Dragon Ball, y'all. But in all seriousness, let's talk about this. This is actually stuff that I find very interesting. I wanted to talk about the Bandai Namco sales, like, financial report. They usually have this, I think, at the beginning of the year, near the beginning, and then they have one kind of near the middle of the year. So you can kind of see what's going on. They have estimates of what's going on. And currently, right now, Gundam is at #1, outselling both One Piece and Dragon Ball's IPs, according to a recent report by Bandai. So pretty interesting. It's not really a huge surprise. Gundam generally, at the very end, the overall, like, just total, right? Gundam's usually the best when it comes to sales for Bandai Namco, okay? Because Gundam, I mean, the toys, guys, the toys, people are underestimating, I think, how ridiculously popular, like, this is, like, the staple toy that a lot of people would get if they're going to be getting any type of, like, anime type of toy or figure or whatever. It's the Gundams. You know, you build them, right? It's a cool activity, all right? When it comes to, like, Dragon Ball and One Piece and everything, you usually just get a figure, and, I mean, you can, like, remove the arms and shit, I guess, and maybe the face, but it's not, like, a full, like, activity that you can do, right? So, yeah, Gundam's killing it. It's not really a huge surprise to me or anything, and they should be doing pretty well like they usually are, okay? Let's go through the report, right? So shout out to Sean Frost here. If I am pronouncing that right, I do apologize. Bandai Namco's financial result of the first quarter, 3 months, April 1st to June 30th of the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2026, okay? So Gundam's at #1 with 65.4 billion. One Piece at #2 at 32.8 billion. Dragon Ball at 26.5 billion. And, man, I feel so bad for Naruto at 6.8 billion. Naruto is really far behind. I mean, again, when you don't have anything going on, you don't got really any games, you don't have... I mean, Naruto really does not have shit. They have nothing. They have Shinobi Striker, and I don't even know if... what is it? Storm Connections. I think Storm Connections is dead. Like, it's actually done. Like, are they supporting the game? I have not followed it at all since I got it on release. I played it, and that was it. You know, I was kind of done with it. So, Naruto is not doing too well. It has no anime currently going on right now. Where the fuck are those 4 episodes, right? that we were supposed to get? And all it really has is, like, the manga. That's kind of it. And I mean, that's the manga, right? That's not Bandai Namco, right? This is Bandai Namco. So, Dragon Ball is kind of in a similar situation, right? We have no anime. We have no manga. There's no new game other than, what is it? Gekishin Squadron that's coming out, I think, in October, right? So we have that to look forward to. But Dragon Ball is kind of it's in a slump right now. And again, it's to be expected to see that the sales aren't really doing as well compared to the other series. Again, Gundam can sustain itself just off of the, like, basically the fucking toys, right? One Piece, I mean, One Piece is always going to be doing well because there's always an anime, there's always a manga, there's always, you know, merchandise being put out for it. But yeah, Dragon Ball, if it doesn't have a, I guess, a movie or an anime or even the manga going on, it's hurting it. And the manga does matter as well because it's going to push, you know, for more people to get into the series. And because there's literally been nothing, like, it's just going to be going down, 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 right? And yes, we did have Daima. But again, Daima, 20 episodes, it's short. It was very short-lived. It was fun while it lasted, but it's not a full series, right? It's similar to, like, having a movie, right? It's just such a short thing with so much, like, put into it, but after it's over and you watch it, I mean, the games are the only thing that you can really push for it. And unfortunately, I would have to say that Daima did not connect as well as I think they wanted it to. I think that's just the truth. That's the cold hard facts, right? The very end of it, the last 3 episodes definitely connected, right? That was the shit that people were looking for. That's what people wanted. But the, you know, 16 episodes, first 16 episodes, it didn't really hit because they fucked up with the minis, right? The minis turning into kids, people did not fuck with that, right? Little kids, right, who are maybe not really didn't know what Dragon Ball was or got into the series or whatever recently, they probably liked it, you know, because it's geared towards them, right? But adults, which are a lot of fans, you know, grown-ass men who are watching this, they were like, this shit's boring as fuck, right? That's what, not to me. I enjoyed it. Okay, I enjoyed it. But I'm just saying from views, sales, everything, it just didn't hit, right? And there were some hype moments. We had Goku versus Tamagami 3. We had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta versus Tamagami 2. There were some moments there, even with the minis that were hype. And you could tell they were really trying to push for those in like the games and everything as well. But I don't know. It's just an unfortunate thing that Toriyama's last work, people just really wanted to see Dragon Ball Z, basically. You know, the Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, in a sense, right? They wanted that stuff, which is like kind of what you got at the very end. The hype aura moments, right? That's what's going to really push for sales, okay? Dragon Ball as a series, it excels when you got a hype aura moment in there. All the other stuff is great, right? We want that stuff as well. But the hype aura moments is what's going to be pushing for the video games, toys, all that shit, merchandise. And again, we're talking about Bandai Namco here, okay? So when it comes to what it had earlier this year, I think this was in, what, May? When was this posted? May 8th, okay? Dragon Ball was killing it, right? At 190, Daima had ended at, what was it? I think it was in, like, right at the end of February. So there were a lot of stuff to push for the games, right? And, like, you know, merchandise and everything. But after that, you know, and this is all with, like, Sparking Zero still being pretty fresh. Not super fresh, but, like, you know, this was a lot earlier on. So, like, everything at the point where this happened, you know, this is taking into consideration everything from last year. Sparking Zero really helped, right? Sparking Zero, we have, you know, obviously Dokkan and Legends. Lots of sales going on for it. Legends, over the summer, it was pretty split, but I think a lot of people can agree that they weren't really as hyped for the 7-year anniversary. The first part, not a lot of people were really fucking with it. Obviously, Ultra Instinct Goku's cool. Blue Evolved Vegeta's cool, but it's like, there was nothing new. Part 2, Saiyan Saga, not really doing it, right? And again, I'm just going based off of what I've seen from the community, from what people have been saying. What did help it was the new battle system, right? Ground battles and everything, that helped it. That's cool. And then Ultra Super Saiyan Goku and Ultra Frieza, the double Ultra, definitely helped, right? But I think most people would say that the 6-year anniversary just was a lot more exciting, right? You know why? Because we had 3 fucking fusions. You had Gogeta Blue, you had Super Vegito Fusion, you know, Synchro Gauge Mechanic, and then you had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Ultra to finish it off. Like, that shit, they went way too hard on that. And that's awesome, right? People loved it. So 6-year anniversary was really, really killing it. You had Sparking Zero coming out that same year. 2024 was the year. And that's when Daima at least started. So you had an anime, at least ongoing. You had Sparking Zero coming out at the same time. Dokkan's always doing pretty well for the most part, regardless of what people would say about it, right? But Dragon Ball is just not in a great place right now, okay? And it has to do with there not being Dragon Ball Super as an anime and a manga, right? People, that's what people want. They're asking for it. They're begging for it. Right now, let me just say this. You know what will save Dragon Ball? You know what would get Dragon Ball at... and I'm going to say this right now. Dragon Ball has not reached its peak yet. It has not, right? It's being... I feel like Dragon Ball is being... betrayed and locked in the time chamber. That's what this feels like right now, right? Right now, Dragon Ball is... It's being nerfed. It's gotten hardcore nerfs, right? They sandbagging this shit, bro. Dragon Ball could be so much. And let me tell you the 3 things that it needs. Bring back the fucking anime with the Moro Saga and the Granola Saga. Bring back the manga. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on why we can't have that, but I'm just telling you, like, this is what would... And I don't even know if that would be the peak of Dragon Ball. Who knows how crazy and big that this fucking series can get. But, like, how big it is right now with it just being so fucking nerfed to the ground by Shueisha and even with Toei, you know, not really doing anything after Daima, right? Bring back that Moro Saga, okay, in the anime. actually give it good animation, have a good animation schedule. It can be like a seasonal type of thing, right? You know, you have like a, I don't know, like the first part. I don't even know how long it would be, right? You guys can let me know down in the comments what you think, how that would be the best. I don't want it to be a movie. I want it to be a, you know, weekly anime series. You know, similar to maybe how they do it with Dragon Ball Daima. They could do like 10 or 20 episodes as like the first half, put a lot of love into it, make it good, right? Make it look amazing, and have that, you know, have like an anime come out, and then maybe in a year or two, drop the next part of it, like, which is like the final part or whatever, right? And do the same thing with the Granola Saga. Have a good animation scheduled, right? You know, actually give a fuck about this. It's fucking Dragon Ball, okay? Do you see how beautiful Dragon Ball Daima looked? Regardless of what you think about the series, it was, I would have to say, one of the best pieces of Dragon Ball media to ever release, right? It looked amazing. And it was consistent. That was another big thing, okay? So do that. Manga, ongoing. Keep the manga going. Continue with Dragon Ball Super, right? Or if you want to call it Dragon Ball Ultra or whatever the fuck it is, just continue the story. We want to see Black Frieza, right? And make Xenoverse 3. Fucking give us Xenoverse 3. I'm telling you right now, Xenoverse 3 will feed us for decades. Xenoverse 2 is almost 10 years old. It's still making content, and people are still playing it. Imagine if you made Xenoverse 3. That's another fucking 20 years of people playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Sparking Zero, as much as I love it, it just seems like it's not going to be one of those games that they're going to... I think they can update it consistently. I mean, as consistent as they can get, right? With DLC, but like they're just not handling it right. They're not doing a very good job of it right now. Bad communication, as always. Bandai Namco just doesn't give a fuck anymore. I don't even know what they're trying to push for right now. That Tawa Guardian game or whatever. What else do we have? Hot Shot Golf. Like, Bandai Namco doesn't really have anything super major. We have Digimon coming out, right? And then the My Hero game, which I think is probably next year. So it's like, fuck. Like, there's not really... There's no Dragon Ball. Again, Geikishin Squadron, that I know that's coming out, but it's like, that's not... That's like a, you know... It's a side game. It's not like the big game, right? It's not a Fighters. It's not a Xenoverse. It's not a sparking game, right? So, I don't know. It's just interesting to me that Dragon Ball is just not getting the love it needs, right? It deserves, right? And I'm not trying to take away from Mobile Suit Gundam or even One Piece or anything. You guys know I respect all these other series. Compared to what a lot of people think when it comes to like Dragon Ball fans, some of us actually do like and watch other series, right? We do have a lot of respect and love for these other series as well, right? So like, you know, more power to Gundam. Keep, you know, Gundam, great. Keep doing what you're doing, right? You know, One Piece is killing it. It's always going to be killing it. I don't see a universe where One Piece is doing bad unless they just end the anime, end the manga. I say they, but like, you know, Oda, he's done with it. And if they're not pumping out merch and video games, then it is cooked, right? But I think One Piece really does need to have that anime and manga going, because for whatever reason, they don't want to give One Piece a good fucking game. Like, what the hell, bro? We have Pirate Warriors 4, and that's kind of it. I know that there's like a mobile game that does pretty well. What is it? Treasure Cruise or something like that. And then it has like a card game that does really well. But like, where's the main big console game? Pirate Warriors 4, like I said, it's very old. There's not like a new one, right? And speaking of Pirate Warriors, there's going to be some DLC announced pretty soon here, so I'll definitely cover that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because it's just like, it kind of hurts to see that Dragon Ball is just not really, it doesn't have anything going on right now. But at the same time, I mean, we've been here, right? The only thing that we can really depend on are the video games. And I mean, that's fine. Like I said, we've been here so many times before, but just, I think it's mainly that uncertainty of what's going to happen because of what's going on with Shueisha and shit, and like Toriyama after his, you know, passing, unfortunately. Like, it's just like, you know, before it's like when Toriyama was still here, we kind of knew, we at least for the most part, that Dragon Ball, you know, it would at least get like a movie, eventually maybe a new anime or something like that. Like we knew something was coming because it was just so big, and like Dragon Ball's still really big, but because of the uncertainty with it, like, is there going to be another movie? I would hope so. You know, like we kind of need that, or like a new anime right now. That's what like we really need if we want to see, you know, things get more hype, have more excitement surrounded by the series. But it's like, how many times are we going to redo Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Dokkan, right? And Dokkan did good, right? They gave us like a new little animation, which is cool, and it looked amazing, right? But it's like, how many times can we just keep repeating the same characters in that? How many times can we, you know, do DLC for Xenoverse or, you know, all these other games without any new material? Okay, Daima was just too small and short in terms of like the length for it to, you know, get a lot of support. But the games are gonna milk the shit out of it for as long as possible, right? Like, we're still getting Dragon Ball Super and Broly movie shit. You know what I mean? But at least that was like 130 episodes, right? And like the movie was just so fucking hyped that like people we're just down to get that shit, right? You know what I mean? But again, this isn't like a doom or gloom type of thing. I just wanted to talk about this because, like I said, it's very interesting to me. We talk about this. I mean, we talked about it when Dragon Ball was like killing it, right? 190, right? So we do got to talk about it when it's not doing well as well, right? We got to discuss this, and I just like to hear your opinions. What do you guys think's going down with it? What do you think Dragon Ball really needs right now, in your opinion? Like I said, the top things. Bring back the anime, bring back the manga, and make a Xenoverse 3. Boom. This shit, I think it's gonna cross the 200 billion, right? I think if they can do those three things, it'll get to that 200 billion and even maybe more, right? Because it's just, those are the three things that people want. I think everybody can agree. If you want Dragon Ball content, those are the three things you want, right? Am I wrong? I'm out. Peace.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.